Hi, Charles Moscowitz here. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Just getting my volume up here. I have a follower here at YouTube who has suggested that I have fallen for a hoax with regard to the COVID virus. He was writing in response to my interview with Green Beret Jason Van Camp, which was a pretty good interview, I thought. And I want to respond to that because I don't think that that's something that should be taken lightly. I don't even think it's something that we should dismiss too quickly. Let me just talk about that. Is this coronavirus a hoax? Well, first of all, it's a virus. It is a flu, and it is deadly. So in that sense, it's not a hoax. But I would ask, is this the biggest hoax in terms of how it's being presented since the 1859 publication of On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, or The Preservation of the Races by Charles Darwin? And by the way, I wrote a book about that called The Apostles of Evolution. Darwin's book was based on the premise that a new species emerges from the breeding of superior members of a species over millions of years, and that life somehow emerged, all of life somehow emerged from, as Darwin noted in his diary, quote, a small warm pond. This book changed the course of human history. This book sanitized racism and reduced the human being, previously having viewed as a creation of God in his image, into a mere animal. That changed a lot of things socially. It set the stage for a lot of major changes, for the better or the worse. I would argue for the worse, but the point is that it was based on very questionable science that to this day has never been proven. And, it was promulgated on the world with this massive and unprecedented media campaign at the time, and an open and outright assault on religion by Darwin's followers, particularly Huxley, who would debate ministers and denigrate them publicly, a process that continued. The coronavirus is indeed a virus, one that is considerably more contagious than any in over a century, one that is comparable to the dreaded Spanish flu of 1919, which took the life of my great-grandfather. Yes, it is deadly. Its victims so far are very advanced in age, with pre-existing health conditions, while some younger people seem to be succumbing, unfortunately, to this disease. There are questions about their pre-existing health, as well as whether or not they might have been vaping. So far, the rest of us who are contracting this flu are experiencing symptoms that are normally associated with the flu. That includes highly publicized cases, such as that of actor Tom Hanks, Charles, the Prince of Wales, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, and other highly visible personalities. They are homesick and recovering. Yet the rest of us are cowering at home now. Governments are declaring virtual martial law, and constitutional rights are being suspended. Congress just approved a $2 trillion spending package, money that will be borrowed from the Federal Reserve and from a variety of private investors at interest. This would never have happened at a time when there was not a quote-unquote emergency. The genuine international populist movement, the true woke movement, the movement that elected Donald Trump as president of the United States, that removed the United Kingdom from the European Union, Brexit, that includes the Yellow Jacket protests in France and the liberation movements in Hong Kong, have been stymied as a result of this. We're all being shut into our homes. It makes it difficult to engage in activism and even to communicate. Is this a massive social experiment? I am not in a position to know. I am suspicious, however. I think we should all ask this question. I don't think it's an illegitimate question. I don't think it's far-fetched to wonder whether or not this is a huge hoax. I'm going to leave it at that. Charles Moscowitz. You can check out my website, charlesmoskowitz.com. Thanks for watching.